Tonight ahead on 12 News, experiencing life on a new range in Maple Grove. And a Golden Valley woman's remarkable willingness to help others, even convicted felons. But first,
keep hoping, keep thinking about it, keep praying.
A family holds on to hope as they wait for word on a missing Robbinsdale man. 12 News starts right now. Friends and family will gather tonight at a vigil for a Robbinsdale father of 3 missing in Mexico.
A 58-year-old Mark Stoneberg was swept out into the ocean Tuesday evening as he body surfed while on vacation with his wife Nancy in a small village north of Puerto Vallarta. As of Friday, the search for Stoneberg continues. At the Robbinsdale home of Mark and Nancy Stoneberg,
we just want to know. We just need information.
Family and friends must do the hardest thing of all.
It's just waiting. There's nothing else we can do.
Meanwhile, in Mexico, Nancy Stoneberg waits as search crews with the Mexican Navy comb beaches and the sea for her 58-year-old husband.
I believe in miracles, so I am one that, and I am hopeful. I have faith. My family has faith, and in whatever the outcome is, we'll accept it. But I won't give up until it's over.
A Caring Bridge website updates family and friends with the latest. Search boats in the water, helicopters above, and the hope that somehow this strong, athletic Xcel Energy lineman managed to survive the strong current that swept him out into open water.
You know, the reason that there's still somewhat considering it a search and rescue is there's the chance that my husband could have gotten beyond the break and gotten taken by the current and could be on one of there's many, rock areas and abandoned beaches.
Back in Robbinsdale, the line of cars outside the Stoneberg home and the table of food dropped off for family are all signs of a community embracing this family while everyone waits for word.
It means everything, and for me, it shows me just how loved Mark and his family is.
Nancy Stoneberg told me over the phone that she is working with a representative from the U.S. Embassy in Mexico, and she intends to keep the pressure on until her husband is found. Meantime, a candlelight vigil is taking place for the Stonebergs this evening, Friday at 7 p.m. outside the Eagle's Nest in Robbinsdale.
After years of budget cuts, local nursing homes may get a shot in the arm. Although Minnesota's elderly population continues to increase, state payments to nursing homes have been frozen and in some cases cut. At Maranatha Care Center in Brooklyn Center, it costs $25 more per day per resident on average than the state payment provides. This week, lawmakers from both parties proposed a 5% increase in state funding for nursing homes and assisted living facilities.
Definitely for us, it means wages will increase for the staff. That's something where we've had wage freezes for several years now, and we really want to invest back in our workers that are doing the direct care. And it definitely means improving our care. We're constantly working at that to just improve their lives. Quality of care is what we're here for.
Ann O'Connor says it would help them compete with hospitals to keep good nurses on staff.
You'll have a chance to speak up about Xcel Energy's proposed rate increase. Xcel is asking for a nearly 11% rate hike. This week, the State Commerce Department said that would create a, quote, rate shock among customers. State officials instead recommend a 3 to 4% increase. They say Xcel's effort to increase rates because customers are conserving energy should not be approved. A public hearing begins at 1 o'clock Monday at the Earl Brown Heritage Center in Brooklyn Center.
Members of the Plymouth City Council got to experience life on the range. Mayor Kelly Slavic and others visited the newly renovated firearms training facility in Maple Grove. A fire damaged Maple Grove's previous facility, while Plymouth's range needed costly updates. A joint powers agreement now allows officers of both cities to train there. One of the special features is a projector room that simulates encounters in the field.
This newer system is quite more advanced than what we had before, and it's more interactive for the officers to use. So it's a step up from what we were using before, so we're quite excited about using it also.
And while details are still being worked out, the facility will eventually be open for public use. For people on the fringes of society, finding a welcoming place can be challenging.
But a Golden Valley woman is doing her part to give the mentally ill and even convicted felons a sense of community. Here's Delane Cleveland.
It is a place to build community among those who have none.
If you're a believer in second chances,
Mercy, compassion, and forgiveness.
many of the faces in this room have already burned that bridge.
I live in various shelters.
Nearly every day, up to 100 people make their way to Peace House community in Minneapolis. They come here for food, a cup of coffee, and meditation in a place where they know they won't be judged.
I sometimes call them the lepers of today's society. Hi there, how are you?
Golden Valley resident Catherine Mommer has been executive director of Peace House for the past 11 years.
You know, they look, when you walk in, like people who should be picking themselves up by their bootstraps, but there are many reasons why they can't.
One example is Mike Wally.
And for one, I have a felony on my record, okay? One of them is attempted homicide.
But Catherine and the other volunteers don't look down on those who visit Peace House.
We try to bring out the worthiness of each individual and make them believe that they really have something to give.
It's a transition that doesn't come easy. In fact, Peace House itself is in transition. In a few short weeks, it will have to relocate 2 blocks north to make way for redevelopment.
They're building us something equal to what we have, but as you can see, what we have isn't spectacular, and so we want to upgrade things.
Upgrades that include new kitchen equipment and fire sprinklers for the new building.
That was not in our budget, and we have to figure out how we're going to do that.
Catherine set the goal at $80,000. It's just one of the challenges of running a place that receives no public funding, but she says it's all worth it.
It can be a very rewarding ministry here.
In Minneapolis, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Golden Valley Council member Dee Dee Scanlon is leading a fundraising effort to help Peace House community move into its new building. And for more information, you can go to our website, 12.tv. Coming up, solving crime by building community.
We'll explain Hennepin County's new crime-fighting tactic next. Then later in sports, Breck skates for a return to a familiar spot, the state tournament.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office has a new crime-fighting tool, but it needs your input.
A new community engagement team has been formed to reach out to different ethnic groups. Renee Bonneau is live outside the Sheriff's Office with more on what you can expect from this team. Renee?
Mike and Alex, it's all about building trust between the Sheriff's Department and the community, especially immigrants who might not have a good idea what law enforcement in our country do here. And so joining me is Sergeant Derwin Ellis. He is one of the 3 team members on this newly formed team at the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department. Now, Sergeant, tell us why now? Why a group like this?
Well, because our community is becoming increasingly diverse at a rapid pace. And so we needed that little extra effort to make sure that the community knows that we're aggressively trying to outreach to them and give them a better perspective of what law enforcement is, especially within the community, within the county.
And I know the Sheriff's Department has done outreach for a very long time now, but this is slightly different. You're going to be reaching out to senior groups, youth groups, schools.
Yes.
What are you looking for from the community? What do they want from you?
Well, primarily they're looking for answers. They want to know who we are, what makes us different from probably if they're new immigrants from where they came from. We're also want to open up those avenues to let them know that we're here to work together. And a lot of, if you notice, a lot of the crime has decreased, especially since 2006. A lot of that happens with community involvement, and we want to make sure we continue to be open, approachable, and again, educate the community of what it is we do.
Great. Sergeant, thank you so much for joining us and give us a little bit of insight. And I'm sure in your community out there, you will probably see him and his 2 other teammates in the near future. We're live in downtown Minneapolis. Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
All right, Renee, thank you very much. Well, some big-name comedy acts are coming to New Hope.
See which stars are set to take the stage coming up. But first in sports, local wrestlers hit the mat at the state tournament. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
just about ready to bring on the state hockey tournament, and one by one we've got some local teams making their way to the tourney.
This is what you shoot for all year long.
That's right. You know, Wayzata made it the other night, and now Breck shooting for a spot. A couple more teams will go for a spot Friday night. Breck's boys hockey team has made a habit of going to the state tournament. The Mustangs skated for their 5th straight trip to state as they face Delano in the Section 2A final. After a Delano goal, Breck wins the faceoff. The shot is blocked by Jack O'Connor, backhands it home, and it's 1-1. Delano goes back in front. The first 2 shots are stopped, and number 21, Adam McLean, stays with it and scores, and it's 2-1 Tigers. Later in the first, Thomas Lindstrom ties it up as he sneaks the shot high on the short side. That makes it 2-2 as Breck starts to take over. In the final minute of the second period, it's Chase Ellingson to Michael Orkey to Mark Sharp for the goal. 3-2 Breck after 2 periods. And Les Larson's club erases any doubt early in the third. Ellingson scores from the slot to make it 4-2 Breck, 3:59 into the period. Just 21 seconds later, Orkey gets one for himself as Delano's strong start is long gone by the end of a 6-2 Breck win.
I think our depth really helped us. We cycled the puck down low a lot. You know, we just had to get the simple plays on there, grind them down, put the pucks on net, and I think we were able to wear them down there, just putting the pucks in deep there, and it helped us a lot.
For just the second time in the program's 21-year history, Champlin Park is playing for a spot in the state boys hockey tournament. Rebels got a short workout in Thursday in preparation for the Section 5 AA final against Centennial, a team they lost to by 1 goal and later tied during the regular season. 2 nights ago, the Rebels upset top-seeded Blaine 5-4, a seemingly unlikely outcome after the Bengals had soundly defeated Champlin Park twice during the regular season. After the win Wednesday, the Rebels see no reason why they can't win tonight.
Why not us, you know? Yeah, we just beat Blaine, and coming into Centennial, we played them close in the year a couple times, so why not?
I'm real confident in it. I mean, last game we tied them, but that wasn't our all, and we can do way better.
That was a selling job all year long. So, you know, we believe in you. Just trust yourself. And at the end of the day, if you work hard, if you battle, if you're sticking up for one another, anything can happen.
Face-off is at 6 o'clock tonight, Friday, at the State Fair Coliseum. Champlin Park's lone state tournament appearance came back in 1995. Team champions were crowned Thursday at the state wrestling tournament. A large group of local wrestlers hit the mat for the individual tournament Friday morning. First round action at 132 pounds. Osseo's Carson Brolsman gets the takedown, but he loses a 10-7 decision to Sibley's Alberto Ramirez. 126 pounds. 2 local wrestlers face off. Nick O'Brien for Wayzata, Farhan Abdisa for Osseo. O'Brien dominates and wins by a fall. 152, Wayzata's Colin Sohn dominates Brett Peterson of Minneapolis South. Sohn wins by fall. 160, good match between Champlin Park's Cody Berry and Hastings' Dan Marquette. Berry gets the reversal here and goes on to win 7-4. 170, Park Center's Rico Lester wrestles hard against Ethan Luzbrock of Chaska. Lester gets the takedown, but later loses by fall. And at 220, Armstrong's Hutton Adams is pinned by Shakopee's Shaden O'Fallon. The individual finals are Saturday night in St. Paul. With the snow and ice gradually melting around us, the end of ice fishing for the year is just about upon us. Here's tackle Terry Tuma with his final Channel 12 ice fishing tip of the season.
I don't know how many times I've heard, I'm sure you have too, is the best time to ice fish is going to be early season ice for bluegills and crappies. That's not true. The best time actually is going to be late ice, pushing late ice to the extreme, if you will. Be careful, safety is a factor, but you can get a lot of big fish, numbers of fish, and besides that, there's hardly any, if any, fishing pressure. Now, our favorite spots to fish under these kind of conditions, of course, your bluegill sunfish will start to move back into the bays due to fresh water being around the bulrushes coming off the shores, down holes and so forth. That's going to attract zooplankton and the food sources, and here comes the sunfish bluegills. Now for crappie fishing, here again, shallow structure areas. Some of our favorite spots are going to be your shoreline breaks, if you will, just a little ways away from the shore, and these fish will be right there. On the north side of the lakes, we're going to see snow starting to melt, and that water is just sort of seeping under the ice, and these big crappies come in there. They can be in 2, 3, 4, 5 feet of water, and nobody's fishing them. This is the last tip. I sure hope they've been of value to you this winter. Hey, winter ice fishing is a great sport, but be sure to tune in right here on Channel 12 for some very unique ways of catching open water fish, bass, walleyes, crappies, and bluegills. We'll see you in the spring. Have a great winter.
I can't wait for May now.
Exactly.
Come back. Thanks, Terry.
Thanks, John. From one hometown goofball to another, funny man who, believe it or not, is not dead.
Lots of laughs coming your way next. From a hometown favorite to a wacky weasel, there are different kinds of comedy coming to the Northwest Metro.
Renee Bonneau shows you who's set to hit the stage in today's Weekend Showcase.
This month, it's a star-studded comedy lineup here at New Hope Cinema Grill, starting with 4 sold-out shows with the cast of The Impractical Jokers. But the fun doesn't stop there.
What a beautiful day, wasn't it? Wow. I almost went for a walk.
St. Paul native Louis Anderson makes his 4th stop at the New Hope Cinema Grill, March 15th and 16th.
He has a huge draw. The name attracts people. Pretty easy tickets to sell when you say you have Louis Anderson coming.
First of all, I had to fly in the tiniest plane. So tiny they had to weigh us. Yeah, funny for you.
Besides poking fun at himself, the comedian, TV, and movie star shares stories about his childhood and family.
He's a Midwesterner, so he kind of has that, talks a lot about his mom and his dad, and I think he's just very easy to relate to.
On the complete opposite end of the comedy spectrum sits this blast from the past.
I'm not a geek. I'm a unique weasel, David.
30-somethings remember Pauly Shore as the wacky goof with the curly locks who starred in 90s comedies like Encino Man and Biodome.
A lot of people came here tonight just to see if I was still alive. Thank you for the concern, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
He's all grown up and is bringing his stand-up act to the Cinema Grill on March 22nd and 23rd.
With Pauly, I don't know what to expect. It's going to be his first time here, so we're really excited to have him. Everybody knows the name. And I think people are very curious to see what's his live stand-up's going to be like.
I'd like to do something like too, but unfortunately half the cast is dead. I look like John McEnroe now.
To score your tickets to either one of these shows or to get more information on upcoming shows, go to cinemacomedy.com. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Renee Bonneau.
Big names.
Yeah, and close to home.
Yeah, that's right.
Louis Anderson, that'll sell out like that.
Exactly.
Won't it?
I'm curious about Pauly Shore,
Yeah.
too. That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner coming up next, and we'll see you back here Monday beginning at 4. Have a great weekend, everyone.